Arnold Schwarzenegger became a millionaire before he was famous. And that's why he became one of the most powerful men Hollywood has ever seen. While every actor was chasing roles, he was chasing freedom. While others begged for a chance, Arnold chose what he wanted to do. Today, you're going to understand how a poor kid from Austria became a global icon, and why the money he made before fame changed the entire destiny of his career. If you stay until the end, you will never look at your own life the same way again. A start. Most people wouldn't survive. Post-war, Austria destroyed. Cold, hunger, harshness. Arnold grew up in a tiny village, in a house with no hot water, sharing a room with his brother. His father, a military police officer, was strict, alcoholic, and had a favorite. And it wasn't Arnold. He grew up hearing he was weak, worthless, that he would never become anything. But he learned one thing there, in the middle of all that hardness. If I don't build my own way out, nobody will do it for me. That sentence became the engine of his life. Obsession wasn't enough. It was a war project. When he discovered bodybuilding, Arnold found the first thing that made him breathe. He trained before school. He trained after school. He trained until he vomited. He lied about his age to compete in contests. He won almost all of them. While friends went to parties, he went to the gym. While others rested, he studied American training magazines and visualized the future. I'm going to be the greatest bodybuilder in the world. I'm going to the United States. I'm going to be a star. He said that at 15, in a poor village, with zero perspective in life. Sounds like arrogance, but it was faith. Escaping Austria and the shock of arriving in the US. At 19, he decided his time had come. He became Mr. Europe, became a standout at Mr. Universe. And that opened the door to the American dream. He arrived in the United States without speaking English, only with a giant body, a heavy accent, and no connections. In the first months, he could barely order food. Casting directors treated him like a joke. You're too big. Your name is impossible. Your accent is funny. But he wasn't there to please anyone. He was there to dominate. The part. Everyone forgets. The first million. Training to become the greatest bodybuilder alive. Arnold worked construction with a friend, carrying bricks, mixing cement. Winter, summer, rain, or sun. Nothing glamorous. But he had a plan. Save money. Invest in real estate. He bought his first apartment, renovated it, rented it out, then bought another. And another. And another. In just a few years. Before turning 25, before any movie, Arnold was already a millionaire. Millionaire with properties. Millionaire with monthly income. Millionaire with freedom. And that freedom made him a legend. Because when Hollywood came calling, he wasn't desperate for a role. He had options. And whoever has options decides their own destiny. How money created the star. Because he didn't need money, he could reject bad roles. And he rejected many. When they said he would never be an actor because of his accent, he ignored it. When they said his body was ridiculous for movies, he ignored it. When they said no one wanted an Austrian as a leading man, he ignored it because he didn't depend on anyone. And then, the impossible happened. Conan, worldwide success. The Terminator, absolute explosion. Predator, classic. Commando, pure action. And an entire career built on his rhythm. Talent helps. But independence creates space for talent to breathe. The impossible, becoming governor. If he had stopped in Hollywood, he'd already be gigantic. But Arnold wanted more. He studied politics, studied economics, got involved in public causes, and in the early 2000s, he became governor of California. An Austrian, an immigrant, a former bodybuilder, an action movie actor, elected in the most important state in the US. Why? Because he always understood one thing. Image is not destiny. Work beats prejudice. Discipline beats opinion. The philosophy that keeps him standing. Arnold repeats the same sentence for decades. Work more than you complain. It's simple. It's tough. But it works. He was never the most talented, never the smartest, never the most prepared. But he was always the most disciplined. And discipline, in the long run, crushes any kind of luck. If you made it this far, drop a like right now, because that helps a lot to push this video to more people who need to hear this kind of story. The raw legacy. Arnold's legacy isn't in the movies, it's in the example. The poor kid, the humiliated immigrant, the ridiculed accent, the criticized body, all turned into strength, into career, into wealth, into global impact. The truth is simple. Arnold didn't win because he was special. He won because he decided that nothing, absolutely nothing, was going to stop him. And you? Are you chasing freedom or accepting life as it came? If this story inspired you, subscribe now. Because calm has power, discipline has power, and you haven't even started to see what you can do with both together.